Hey guys, it's Melanie. Today I am going to do a video regarding one of the most frequently asked questions on my videos, besides why is your hair gray? If you are new to my channel, this is my natural hair color, and yeah, it is this way on purpose. Didn't color it this way. This is just genetics for me. So one of the questions that I frequently get is, what do you use on your brows that works with your gray hair color? And I kind of feel like I have talked about this before in multiple videos, but I kind of wanted to put the information all in one place to just be able to essentially link this video anytime the question is asked. I am doing this video right now also because next month I am actually going and getting my brows powder tattooed. So if we rewind a little bit, last year right around this time I went and got my eyebrows microbladed for the first time. And the thing to know about microblading is that it's wonderful, it's amazing, but it's not the best fit if you have extremely oily skin, which I talk about frequently. My skin is very, very oily. So my microbladed brows maybe lasted me about 6 months. They were incredibly convenient for those 6 months though, and I loved having them. But I was not going to get them microbladed again because it just didn't work with my skin. So they faded incredibly fast, and the technician that I went to told me that they would. And so I knew that going into it. It was just one of those expenses that I was willing to make to have some convenience for a while and to see what the experience was like, and then figure out, do I maybe want to try a more dramatic, more permanent version of what I had with microblading? And that is what I am going to be doing next month. I just recently found a new tattoo artist where I live, and she actually does machine powder brows. So I know there's gonna be a ton of you that are like, don't do that. I had my brows tattooed, it looks awful. I completely understand that. Back in the day, when people got brow tattoo, one of my grandmas has her eyebrows tattooed, and no, they don't look great now, but they also didn't look super great when she first had them done. I feel like tattooing has come a long way, especially for the face. We obviously now have microblading and all sorts of other things. And I addressed all of my concerns with the artist, and we talked through everything, and I'm very confident in her work and what she's going to do. Also, I don't believe that this particular powder style of tattooing where you do use a machine is quite as deep as a traditional tattoo. So I don't anticipate having any problems with it. Yes, my face is going to change over time. I can counteract those changes with things like Botox. So if my forehead starts to sag a little bit, there's ways around that. So I'm honestly not concerned about it. Definitely do your research though. I will of course be going through the process with you guys. I will document it just like I did the microblading last year. And you guys will see it, and you can decide for yourselves after you see it whether you think it's worth researching for you if you have really oily skin or not. So I'm never gonna tell you guys to go and do something, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be doing that. So I wanted to do this video now because I'm not going to have much of a need for these products after I have that procedure done. So I wanted to get this out of the way now. Okay. There are sort of 3 main products that I need to get my brows looking like this every single day. My brows are really, really thin. I overplucked them in the 90s. You guys have heard this story before. When I was in middle school in 1992, the it thing to do was to have pencil thin brows. I participated in the trend, and unfortunately I kept it up through the remainder of the 90s, and by the time that I got out of college, my brows just didn't grow back. So I have been coloring them in every single day of my life ever since, and it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. I'm not gonna tell you that this is a quick process for me every day. It usually takes me about 8 to 10 minutes to do my brows. It takes a long time because for me, it's really hard to get them even, and most days, like today, I think they're pretty even, but most days they are not. So it's just a time-consuming process. I'm gonna get started with the first kind of key tool that I use, and it is the Smashbox number 12 brow brush. This is the only brow brush that I have ever used that works the best. It has very stiff bristles. I've tried a lot of brow brushes, you guys. This one is it for me. I will link all of these things down below. Some of them are a little bit harder to find, so that is why I give you guys the links. This brush is key for me. The bristles, like I said, are nice and stiff. They are ever so slightly slanted. I actually originally got mine back when Smashbox was sold on QVC. Do you guys remember how long ago that was? A long time. Do you remember the tall blonde lady? She's the one that sold this to me. I loved watching her. I think her name was Holly or something. But anyway, moral of the story is this is the brush that I would highly recommend you get. Some of these other brow brushes that I've gotten, like they're basically like a small angled brush like this. This doesn't work as well. I need something that is stiff. I believe these are a natural bristle of some kind. I'm not sure. But these like synthetic ones just don't do it for my brows. I need something that is almost kind of scratchy. That's what I look for with a brow brush, is a little bit of a scratch factor. You might not be looking for that. Also, this is a must-have, especially for those of you with gray hair. But even if you don't have gray hair, if your hair is brown or blonde, there's a shade for you. But if you're gray and you're here because you're looking for gray hair, brow product suggestions, this is the only thing I'm going to recommend to you. Now, yeah, you can find like a gray eyeshadow, that's fine. A gray eyeshadow is not going to do what this does. I actually believe that Tarte is discontinuing this product, which is why it is not easy to find. Again, I will link it down below. This has been my holy grail brow powder. It is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder in the shade Gray. For whatever reason, just companies in general, but when it comes to their brow products, they don't make powders or pencils readily available for those of us with gray hair. If they do, they will put out like a really dark charcoal shade. Anastasia has like a granite color, but most don't even bother putting out like a granite type color. They'll give you taupe. Taupe doesn't work for me, you guys. Taupe turns orange, it doesn't work. And most of them don't do a gray brow powder, and it's about to get really bright in here because the sun just came out. My apologies. This is it, you guys. This is the brow powder. A lot of times I will just use this and nothing else. You can see that I've obviously hit major pan on this one. I have a couple backups. I love this. It does really volumize my brows. It makes them look thicker. It works beautifully with this holy grail brow brush from Smashbox. These are two products I will never, ever, ever be without. Even when I get my brows tattooed, microbladed, powdered, whatever you want to call it, I will still have this because there will come a point where they start to fade and I will have to have them touched up. And, you know, if I need like a powder to use between, you know, I need to have the time that I need to have them done, I want this available to me. It's amazing. And why is the sun doing this right now? This is it, you guys. This is the brow powder. If you're ever going to ask me what brow powder do you recommend, it is going to be this. All right, pencils. I have a couple options for you. I'm really bummed out because my best suggestion for you is the IT Cosmetics Skinny Brow Pencil in the shade Universal Gray. I don't know what is happening to this pencil. It is so hard to find. I have a feeling that IT Cosmetics maybe discontinued it, one of the big complaints for a lot of people about that pencil is that they basically went through it in under a month. And I did too. My first one I used up probably just under 4 weeks. There needed to be more product, but it was the perfect shade of gray because it was a really light gray. So whether you had very dark salt and pepper hair or whether you had kind of silvery, maybe still a mix of blonde in there type gray, that one worked. The Universal Brow Pencil in Taupe from It Cosmetics, no, didn't work. Turned orange, just like every other taupe does on me. Now, if you don't have oily skin, maybe that one would work for you, so I'll link it. It's worth a try. They do have a mini available. I'd suggest trying it in the mini first. But that Universal Gray was amazing, so I don't know if It Cosmetics is discontinuing it. I wish that they would bring it back with more product in the actual pencil. I have been to Ulta multiple times over the last couple of months trying to repurchase that pencil. It's never in stock. It's not in stock online. I think it's still available on the It Cosmetics website. I will, if it's available there, I'll link it down below. But I recently broke down and bought these, even though in the past I have swatched them and was like, no, they're too dark, but I needed a gray pencil, and so this was my option because there's not a whole lot out there. This is the NYX Eyebrow Pencil in Charcoal, and this is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil in Charcoal. For the most part, they're the same color. The packaging is obviously a little bit different. The Precision Brow Pencil comes with a nice spoolie on the end that is very nice. This one comes with, does this come off? No, it doesn't. It comes with this weird brush thing at the end. I don't like that. But anyway, here are both the pencils. They are both in a like oval type shape. One is a little bit thicker. The Precision Brow Pencil is thinner. This just eyebrow pencil is thicker. I'm going to give you guys a swatch of each of these so you can see the shade of gray. This one is a little bit harder. The brow pencil is harder. This one is softer. Honestly, between the two, I would say get the Precision Brow Pencil, but I'll link both down below. So you can see these are pretty dark. These are both obviously a charcoal, but if I use with a light hand and if I brush through to sort of diffuse, I find this doable for me. It's not ideal, and I wish that there were other options. In fact, if I ever had the opportunity to create something cosmetics-wise, I would probably do, I love eyeshadow, you guys know I love eyeshadow, but I would probably do brow products. And I would do brow products for specific types of brows. Skinny brows, thick brows, people that have really oily skin. There's so many different like brow needs out there. That is what I would do if I ever had the chance. And I would darn sure have an entire range dedicated to gray hair because again, this is really dark for me, but I make it work because I brush through it several times and diffuse it. But yeah, no, this is not the most ideal choice, but those are my recommendations because basically this is what us gray-haired ladies are apparently stuck with. In terms of cruelty-free products, obviously outside of that realm, there might be other possibilities, but for me there are not. I will also, again, try to link the It Cosmetics one down below as well. But yeah, this is sort of the best that I've come up with. Bonus points because I guess NYX is pretty affordable. I want to say that this is on sale for like $17 to $20, somewhere around there. The brush, I don't know, maybe like 25 bucks or something like that. Totally worth it. So these are my, I guess, 3 must-have products. I'm just going to leave this one out because it's not as ideal in terms of the texture. So I'm going to go with these 3. These 3 things are my suggestion for you if you have gray hair and you need to find brow products that work for you. I'm sure with a little bit of adjustment in terms of how heavily or lightly you apply these products, you can get them to work for your gray hair. But yeah, there you go. Let me know if you guys have any additional questions. I hope this was helpful. Again, I will take you guys through the journey with my brows next month. I'm having it done on November 5th. Again, I'm really confident in the artist that I chose. We did a pretty lengthy consultation together. I asked a ton of questions. I feel very comfortable with what's gonna happen and how it's gonna turn out. And of course, you guys will see the progress. So let me know if you have any questions down below. By the way, I don't use a brow mascara. I don't find that looks natural. I've never liked the look of brow gel or brow mascaras. They look silly on people with skinny brows, I think. Great for those of you that have luxurious, luscious, natural brows, but just not ideal. So if you're gonna ask me for that, I don't have a suggestion for that. Find somebody else to ask. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in my next video. Take care.